right here, to the untrained eye, this looks like just like woodpeckers, but I mean, look how evenly they're spaced apart. That's a claw mark of something pulling itself up from down there. And this is right in the middle of Snallygaster territory. So if I were to guess, look how high up it goes. Snallygaster was pulling itself up out of the valley. When talking about South Mountain and all the things that went on up here, Madeline Dahlgren was an important part of what happened and what people thought and learned about this area. Now, she was kind of prejudiced against a group of people known as the Zittles, and particularly against one man in that family, and his name was Michael Zittle Jr. And he was known as the Wizard of South Mountain. Now, the Zittles lived right here on South Mountain. They had a little clan, a little establishment that was known as Zittletown. And as you can see, there's a road that'll lead us right to Zittletown. And that's where Michael Zittle lived. Now, what Michael Zittle was known for in this area was being the wizard. He was a healer. He healed sicknesses. He healed wounds. He performed hexes. Now, a lot of times we hear hexes and we think, oh, hexes, that's a bad thing. That's good, no good. But in his way, a hex could be good, it could be bad. It could be against something, or it could be to protect against something. And he did both. In particular, he was known for dispelling the fear of the darkness of night. Now, yeah, some kids are afraid of the dark, and maybe that's what you're thinking, but no, there's something more to it. They were mountain folk. They lived in the wilderness. They weren't afraid of the dark. They were afraid of what lied in the dark. You see, those creatures such as the Snallygaster, the Dwayyo, the Snarly Owl, they lived within the darkness, within the shadows up here on South Mountain. And that is what he was trying to protect people from when he dispelled the fear of darkness. Cattle went missing, people went missing, homes had destruction, and he would come and he would take care of it. He stood between humanity and the Snallygaster. I think it's important to know that though Madeline Dahlgren had a disdain for the Zittles, and in particularly Michael, I don't necessarily think he was a bad individual. Now, he performed hexes, as I said, that dispel the fear of darkness, and I really feel the people did. They feared the Dwayyo, they feared the hex wolf, the Snarly Owl, and the Snallygaster. They really did fear these things, and he did what he could. I mean, he also healed people, and he never took a dime for it. He had this book, which was called A Friend in Need, or Secret Sciences, that he carried with him. He claimed that it came from the Holy Land and that it was written in Spanish, and he translated the Spanish to German because his father was German, and he used it, and in it were the things to get rid of evil spirits, or how to heal people, how to do these different things. And there were some bad hexes as well. And later in life, he was a shingle maker, so later in life he needed some money, some funding. So he did the one thing he said you should never do, which was profit off of your magic. He translated the German into English and decided to sell the book. Now, one of the interesting things about that is Madeline Dahlgren, who said she was against dark magic, decided to buy a copy of this book, and she actually put some of it in her own book, South Mountain Magic. And even though she said it was evil, she decided to try and profit off it as well. Now, you would think that that would then make it a good day for Michael, but the one thing he said would happen is that if you try to profit off of magic, well, guess what? You lose it all. And though he did that, sold it, and sold copies, he really didn't make the profit that he needed, and he ended up kind of becoming a pariah to his family. People, they were embarrassed about him, and the once great Wizard of South Mountain was kind of an outcast within his own family, thanks to in part to Madeline Dahlgren and what she said and did. And so there you have it. This guy who in his mind was fighting the darkness and fighting and helping, ended up destitute and a pauper. So I've never actually gone to Michael Zittle's gravesite, which that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna go check it out, and I'm gonna show it to you. I'm kind of excited about that. I've always wanted to go check it out and see it. And he now lies here in Boonesboro Cemetery. Here's his marker right here. If you ever want to come see it, because he's an important part of the tradition and folklore of South Mountain. I really feel that this guy did a service to the people. They had a fear of the Snallygaster, and as I said, he did his best to dispel that fear of the darkness of night. So you're probably asking yourself, so Michael Zittle made copies of his little black book, his little magic book. Where are they now? Well, ironically, only one is known to have survived, and if you want to see it, basically you got to go to the Boonesboro Museum of History in Boonesboro, Maryland. One book is all that's left of Michael Zittle's legacy.